Thank you so much for your kind words. Although you have promoted me far beyond my station. I am indeed one of the vice chairs. I think Steve, who was the chair, has been promoted and therefore has to step back. So I've stepped in gleefully, and it's a great pleasure to be there. I should say my name is Brendan O'Hara. I'm the Member of Parliament for Argyll and Bute, which takes in Iona, which is, as we know, the cradle of Christianity in Scotland, and it is one of the great advantages of being the MP for Argyll and Bute is I can get to visit Iona any time I like, and I do often. But as I say, I have the great honour of being the Vice Chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Christians in the Holy Land, and we are hugely grateful both to the University of Birmingham and to ICoHS, who commissioned the report and who do such a marvellous job in providing a secretariat for our APPG. In 2018, I had the enormous privilege to visit the Holy Land, particularly Bethlehem and Jerusalem. It was part of a parliamentary delegation organised by CABU and Medical Aid for Palestinians, and I wasn't alone in the group in finding that personal pilgrimage to the Holy Land was a profoundly moving experience. I was also deeply moved the following year when I visited Lebanon, and we went to speak to the amazing people. I went with Aid to the Church in Need, and we went to the Bekaa Valley, and we spoke to Archbishop Issam John Darwish and his team, and the incredible work that they do day in and day out at the St John the Merciful table in the town of Zachley. Every single day they feed the poor of the area. Hundreds of Christians and Muslims, Lebanese, Syrian refugees, providing food, comfort and the necessities of life without question as to who they are or where they came from. It was a marvellous example of Christianity in action, and it remains to this day one of the most humbling experiences of my life. But having been to the Bekaa Valley and having previously walked the streets that Jesus and his disciples walked, and observing the ongoing ministry in the face of overwhelming pressure at times of the Christian community in the birthplace of our church, and having witnessed what is being done there now, I resolved that having witnessed it, I had the responsibility to share my experiences and do what I could personally to support my brothers and sisters in these special places. And in the years that have gone since, I've taken it on myself to speak to as many church groups, human rights groups as I possibly can in my constituency to share the experience of visiting the Holy Land and Lebanon and witnessing or bearing witness to what I saw. It's been a challenging and moving experience, but it's incredibly worthwhile because I think in our position, all you can do very often is bear witness to what you have seen, because we are the evangelists for our brothers and sisters in the Holy Land. I think we're very lucky in Parliament now that we have a growing all-party parliamentary group. We combine both members of the House of Commons, members of the House of Lords from every party and numerous faith communities. And we work together to raise awareness of the challenges and the opportunities facing our brothers and sisters in Israel, Palestine and Jordan, and indeed beyond. And some months ago, we became very high-tech and we introduced Zoom. Yes, who would have thought that the APPG for Christians in the Holy Land would resort to Zoom or adopt Zoom, an early adopter of Zoom, but we did, and we had the enormous pleasure of three of the most senior Holy Land church leaders come and address us at our APPG, and I refuse to believe that this would not have been the first time that the Orthodox Patriarch, the Latin Patriarch and the Anglican Archbishop have been together on Zoom. It must have been. I can't believe it wasn't. But at that meeting of the APPG, we promised Patriarch Theophilus, Patriarch Isabella and Archbishop Hossam that we would do everything in our power and we would advocate on their behalf in Westminster and within our respective parties and in our communities and our spheres of influence to do whatever we could to help. And we've done that, and I am enormously proud of the fact that the APPG, with the irreplaceable Russell helping us every step of the way, that we have managed to help secure the publication of this report. And I think this report is clear evidence of the vital contribution that the Christian community makes to the peace and the prosperity of all communities in the Holy Land. And it will equip us to keep our promise that we made, that we would, as parliamentarians, play our part in enabling the Christian community in the Holy Land to flourish and thrive and to secure a future, an all-important future for Christians in the Holy Land. Finally, I just want to say thank you to Karen Anthony and the Abbey. It's my first time in this room. I hope it won't be the last. I'm looking around. If I think he's not here, I was going to try and secure a tour at some point from Karen Anthony, but he must have read my mind and scuppered. But I said I would love to stay. But unfortunately, I have Bill Committee in about 10 minutes, and I have speaking in a debate on COP26 at 1:30. So if you do see me sneaking out, please don't judge me. I am just enormously busy, but I am so grateful for the invitation to have been here today and for the opportunity to speak to you. And I commit personally to work as hard as I can to further the aims of the APPG and the aims of everybody in this room, and that is to secure that future for our brothers and sisters in the Holy Land. And thank you for the invitation. It's very much appreciated.